so let's simulate. Let's simulate and let's check out the, yeah, we'll check out everything before we go into playoff mode. Goals against average, are we up there? No, we are not. Save percentage, are we up there? No, we are not. But I think Bernier was hovering around .920, so he's doing good. He's getting a bit better. Next year, he should be a lot better. Wins, 44. Crawford had 49. Good God, yeah, man. Look at Chicago's Crawford. 88 overall, but he had 49 wins. Points, are we up there? Joe Thornton, 87. He's 8th in the league. So on the second line with Simmons and Connolly, Joe Thornton had 87 points. And probably a lot of power play points as well. Assists, Jesus. Joe Thornton, 64. That's great. Goals, Stamkos is up there in 4th. So even though we split up Joe Thornton and Steven Stamkos, they both still produce for us. So that's very nice. He was only 2 points out of the goal-scoring leader. Other teams may still have a game left, but whatever. He's up there. The Eastern Conference looks like this. We're in 7th with 95 points. It was a good season. It looks like the Eastern Conference has a lot of points this year. Yeah, because look at the Western Conference. I mean, San Jose is in 8th with 88 points. If we were in the West, we would be in like maybe even 3rd. Yeah, man. If we might have won our division there, at least in 5th. So yeah, man, we had a good season. It's just the East was a bit stacked this year. That's fine though. All right. So let's simulate up into the playoffs here. There's our timers. Perfect. Let's simulate up into the playoffs. Come on now. Who do we got in the first round? And it is the Boston Bruins. All right. At the start of the season, I advised you I wanted 47 wins. You only got 45. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're in the playoffs, son. All right, so let's do a season wrap-up. Let's check out our team stats and our player stats. All right, and then the next video, we got the Boston Bruins. So I liked it. This year, it wasn't really a struggle to make the playoffs. We got in there. We were expecting. I was hoping maybe a President's Trophy winning season, but again, that is coming eventually. That is coming eventually. We need better snipers on the wings, basically. Okay, so let me see here. Goals for per game. Let's see where we are. We are 3rd in the NHL. Chicago is, wow, that's why Chicago won so many games, man. They're scoring goals like crazy. 3.4, almost 3.5 goals for per game. We're above 3, which I wanted, but look at Chicago. Thank God they're in the West. That might be the final this year, Tampa versus Chicago. That's right, boys. I'm sticking with that. We're making the Stanley Cup final, and we're winning the gold. Well, the silver. We're winning it this year. Goals against per game. We're 4th in the NHL. So, yeah, statistically, great. Great job this year. Would I have liked to be below 2.25? Yes, but there was only one team below that, and that's Nashville. They got Pekka Rinne back there, so that's okay. But look at Chicago. Yeah, Chicago had a great year. Power play goals, no, power play percentage. So we are 1st in the NHL with our power play, 23.3%. So that's going to be key going into the playoffs. All right, when other teams draw penalties on us, we should be able to score some goals. LeCavalier, Stamkos, and Thornton. Penalty kill percentage, let's see. We're down there in 9th, so we're still top 10. Yes, I wish it was a bit better, but I mean, we're only, what, a couple percentages away from being in the top. So, yes, we're down here in 8th, but we're hovering around 85%. Maybe a better goalie would help that out, but I'm not going to complain, all right? I'm not going to complain whatsoever. 83.4% is great for us. All right? Yeah, looking good. Now let's check out who produced for us this year. Player stats in the season. I'm pretty sure our top guns did great, man. Stamkos, if he might have had a point a game with not having Thornton or LeCavalier on the line, which is great. He's proved that he's good enough. I mean, what? He's 95 overall. He should be getting it done. So here we go. Forwards. Forwards. So oh, look at this actually. Stamkos kind of trailed off towards the end with his assists. Joe Thornton though, 87 points. So Joe on the second line, 87 points. Way to go. 64 assists, 23 goals. Stamkos, yes, he wasn't a point-a-game player, but he still had 40 goals. Remember, if we had a better winger alongside of Stamkos, another sniper winger, yeah, man, he'd get plenty more assists. But I'm fine with that. We spread the offense out. Connolly on the second line, he had 60 points. LeCavalier really dropped off, but remember, he's not getting the ice time that Thornton and LeCavalier is getting. He's a third-line center. But think about it. Your third-line center gets 60 points. That's a good season. Dustin Brown, almost 60 points on the first line. Granlund, almost 50 points. All right, Simmons, almost 50 points. So right there, our top 7 players. Stajan and has been moved around, so that's why. But the top 7 players that were on the first 3 lines for the whole and not counting Foligno either. Sorry, Simmons, Stajan, and Foligno. These guys all had close, if not more than 50 points. So we're definitely getting depth scoring, and they're all plus players. Stajan, he's down there on the third line now. 32 points on the third line and fourth line. It's not bad. Schwartz, he really didn't have a good season. That's our weak spot, actually, Schwartz. He was still a plus player, but even when we put him down there on the third line, he really didn't produce for us. So I'm not going to make any changes, but that's just something to think about. Jaden Schwartz. Maybe Lofthouse has a place up here if we start to lose games. Maybe. I'm not going to say anything just yet. Pyatt, yeah, these are the guys down here on the fourth. LaRose, Foligno. Don't worry about these guys. They're fourth liners. All right. They had good seasons for us. LaRose and Kelly and Stajan, minus players, whatever. Don't worry about it. Defensively, let's see what our defensemen did this year. All of our defensemen are plus players, except for Morrison, but he didn't start a game for us, so don't worry about that. Points, Shattenkirk with 37, Hedman 34, Stewart 30, Ekman Larson with 30. So our top four defensemen all had more than 30 points, which is great. No one had over 40 points, which is a really good season. They're all just above average defensemen. I'm expecting a bit more out of Ekman Larson, but he's still young. He's got plenty of seasons ahead of him, and when we put him on the first line, I expect that he would get a lot more. So don't worry about that. Defense core, I love it. And goalies, Bernier, 2.29. If that was below 2.25, I'd be happy. 2.29. But it is good. He's getting better. Remember seasons before, it was way up there. He's getting better, and a save percentage of .921. So Bernier, you're doing fine for us. You are doing absolutely fine. And look at this, 26 years old, C, B minus, C. All right, he can still get better with deep playoff runs. All right, 89 overall now. Yeah, man, this guy's a stud. 89 overall, 26 years old. No problem with Bernier. All right. So, oh, and you know what? Before I wrap it up, let's do a what do you guys always like to see? What is it? Yes, it's the progress reports, right? Yeah, you guys love to see this, and I always forget, so I'll get it out of the way. Okay, so we'll see who had the most progress. Victor Hedman still has the most progress out of anyone on our team. Look at this guy. He went up in defensive awareness by 3. His defensive awareness is now 96 overall. Stick checking is 99. This guy is a defensive beast. And offensively, he's no slouch, man. Look at this. His offensive awareness, 88. I mean, a bit of a more accurate wrist shot and slap shot, but he's a defensive defenseman. This guy is a superstar. He's a wild card stud, 92 overall. Good God. Ekman Larson, he went up by 11. So he's still getting better. His offensive category didn't really go up that much. His defensive category, you know what? It got a lot went into balance. I wish those went into the offense and defensive category. But still, I'm not going to complain. 86 overall. He's 23 years old. I still think he has his B potentials. I can't look at his profile from here. But yeah, so he's coming along. 23, 24. I mean, look at our two defensemen of the future, man. Stamkos, he went up by 9. Good God almighty. What did he go up in? His slap shot power and accuracy went up now. That's the only thing. So look at his slap shot and wrist shot. 97, 95, 97, 99. That's so good. Defensively, his fighting skill went up. Wow, he's 84 for fighting skill. This guy can throw it down. Shot blocking, 82. So, I mean, I wish his face-offs went up because then he could be a legitimate center. But, I mean, Stamkos, man. The best player in the NHL right now in this franchise? It may be. He may be better than Crosby now, man. Athleticism. Yeah, he's getting a bit faster. That's good. He's already a stud in every category. Like, he could not get better from here to the end of his career, and I'd be fine with it. But he's still getting better. This guy's dangerous, man. Brad Stewart, this guy's getting better even at 35 years old, man. Jesus. Yeah, look, he's just in every category. Look at his defensive awareness now, 93. This guy was a great pickup, and he's going to be a good trade asset for us as well. Mikhail Granlund, let's see how much this guy went up by. Yeah, offensive category, offensive awareness, passing, and puck control. Once that offensive awareness and passing get into the 90s, this guy's going to be a stud. This guy is going to be a stud. His shot and power and accuracy doesn't need to get good. I want his offensive awareness and passing to get real good. Defensively, this guy's fighting skill went up. Way to go. What a fantastic fin. I wish his defensive awareness and discipline went up, but it's not the end of the world. And durability went up, so that's good for the playoffs. So he's getting real good, and he's only still 23 years old. Look how young our team is. Shattenkirk, 26. and he's still getting better. Hand-eye got better. All right, defensive. Oh no, fighting skill got better. So this guy really didn't get better in any of the main categories this year. But still, he's only 26 years old. Brad Stewart is still getting better at 35. So as long as we continue to have good seasons, he will get better. Brett Connolly, 22. Hand-eye and passing went up. Discipline went up. Stick checking went up. All right, so he's slowly getting better. He's more of the player that when the season switches over, he gets the boost. I'm not going to look at everyone now because they're starting to get a bit slower. Thornton LeCavalier still got better. All right, Schwartz didn't really go up that much. Okay, so that's good. And goaltenders, let's see. Bernier went up by 14, boys. 14. This guy's becoming a stud. His 5-hole jumped to 89. So remember how I said I want the 86s to get up there? His 5-hole 86 is now an 89. So only his breakaway and his stick high are holding him back. If his stick high and his breakaway jump in the next season or in the off season, he'll be a 90 overall. He'll be a 90 overall goaltender by next year, no doubt. If not by the start of next year, by playoffs next year, no doubt. Yep, his middle category's gotten a bit better, and his speed has gotten a bit better. This guy's becoming a stud for us. And you know what? We're going to be able to sign him. I think he's got 2 years left. We're going to be able to sign him before he becomes too good to sign, you know? He may only want 4 or 5 mil instead of wanting like 6 or 7. So that's real good. So there you go, boys. There's our progress reports. There's our season wrap-up. I'd say it was a good year. You know, if we started off with the lines that we have now, it might have been a better year. But here, we're in the playoffs. Anything can happen. All right, and here's the award. Not the awards. I didn't mean to go to awards. I wanted to show you a playoff tree. Let's see what the lineups, see what the matchups are. In the Western Conference, you got Chicago versus San Jose, Vancouver versus LA, Anaheim, St. Louis, and Nashville versus Edmonton. That's a pretty good Western Conference. And in the East, Winnipeg versus Philly, Boston versus your Tampa Bay Lightning, Pittsburgh versus the Islanders, and Carolina versus Montreal. So it's going to be a good year 4 playoffs this year, boys. Again, I'm going to say it. We are going to win the Stanley Cup. Absolutely. The Stanley Cup is coming back to Tampa Bay.